Hey guys, it's your girl T, and I want to go ahead and shout out Andrea Isaac and VH1 Access. They're the first to send me this story, and since then I've been getting sent this story by a lot of people. This story is really confusing. I don't really even know where to start. It's about a missing 30-year-old doctor. Her name is Teleka Parker, beautiful woman. Me and her have like the same big brown eyes. That's the first thing I noticed about the story is that me and her have similar shaped eyes, which is kind of weird. But yeah, this woman has been missing since December 5th. And they're saying that she might have some type of mental illness. She was making YouTube videos a few weeks ago singing about a lover. She made breakfast for two. Then her family came out and said that she didn't have a boyfriend and that her and her ex-husband were divorced. Then the ex-husband came out and said that she was facing a lot of mental illness issues. The last time they have her on tape was coming out of some hotel. So this situation is just insane. Now she's come out within the past few hours. Andrea just sent me this news clip. And now they're saying that gospel singer Marvin Sapp had a personal restraining order against this woman because this woman was stalking him and was obsessed with him. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys these news clips, and then I'll come back with the rest of my
commentary. She would have responded. This is a serious situation because she's not just on vacation right now.
Extreme concern, a plea for urgency to find missing Kalamazoo Dr. Teleka Patrick. This from a man who knew her better than many, a man who shared part of his life with Teleka as her ex-husband. Now, we tracked him down out of state, and tonight, for the first time, he's talking only to Target 8 about what he believes is a troubling past of mental illness. It's the reason that he's calling for heightened urgency in the search to find her. It's a story grabbing headlines all across the country and even overseas. 24 Hour News 8's Leon Hendricks is here with that story.
And Mark, good evening. More desperation with every passing moment. Teleka Patrick and her former husband met online and quickly wed. It was a short-lived union that ended in divorce. But he says there's part of the story here that isn't being told. A tale of delusions, paranoia, and stress that has him even more convinced that Teleka Patrick may be in serious trouble.
Teleka and I met online.
Ismael Calderon doesn't dispute what we've heard about Teleka Patrick, the vivacious, God-loving, and intelligent woman who was seen in all the pictures.
She did everything to the T. She was a perfectionist. Teleka was very true-hearted when it came to her faith, and her belief in God was rock solid.
But he says there was a deeper issue behind the talent, intellect, and beauty that Teleka refused to address. What he says were telltale signs of mental illness.
She started to have delusions, paranoia. She started to hear voices.
It was hard for even him to face, and he says all of her talent and a distinct passion for hearing the voice of God further complicated the issue.
They just covered up and suppressed what she was fighting so much. Maybe the voices that she heard wasn't God. Maybe the voices that she heard pointed to a serious condition.
Calderon says he and Teleka went to marriage counseling, but that was about it. And he claims it would be his pressure to get her into treatment that started the demise of their marriage.
I think that Teleka had this fear of first being branded with a mental illness. Second, the practical fear of losing her career.
Reports that Teleka seemed agitated and afraid during the last time she was known to be seen don't surprise him. He says he also witnessed firsthand that erratic driving reported on the highway before Teleka's Lexus was found in Indiana. He says he suspects she was in a delusion, fearing someone was chasing her. It's what happened next that has him confused.
I believe it's a serious concern because every day that she's still missing, it's a danger.
Plain and simple, he says, Teleka just wouldn't go this long without contacting the family she loves.
This is a tragedy. I don't think she's hiding somewhere. I think she's being held against her will, or the worst, or even worse than that. It's horrible to think that something bad may have happened to her.
Calderon says he has not been contacted by investigators, but is talking about what he knows about Teleka in hopes that it steps up the urgency in the case.
So that's why I think this is really important, that we bring awareness, that this is not just some doctor that's just trying to get away. This is someone that was suffering. I believe it's a serious concern because every day that she's still missing, it's a danger. I mean, this is a red alert.
Teleka's family has said to their knowledge she did not suffer mental illness. Teleka has been missing now for 27 days, Mark.
a candle in the dark.
This is video of missing Kalamazoo Dr. Teleka Patrick. She appears to be singing to a love interest. It was posted by her to YouTube just weeks before she disappeared earlier this month. Her family says it really raises more questions than answers. The video is titled Surprise Final Video. And in it, Teleka tells the person that she wishes they were there with her. At one point, she turns the camera and shows a meal she made for the person. Then she sings a love song to that person.
Hi, love. It's me. So I finally got done. So I just wanted to show you what I made.
Patrick's family issued this statement in response to the new video late last night. Here's what it says, quote, "To our knowledge, Teleka was not in a romantic relationship, and it's unclear to whom she is making reference in this video. We pray that Teleka is safe, and we remain hopeful that we will find her soon." This was one of the last places Teleka Patrick was seen. This video was taken at the Radisson Hotel in downtown Kalamazoo. She tried getting a room there, but she couldn't, so an employee of the hotel dropped her off at her car at nearby Borgess Hospital where she worked. She hasn't been seen since. But her car was found in northern Indiana, just off of I-94. The family says police have seized her computers, they're looking at phone records, and there is a $15,000 reward for any information about her whereabouts.
Target 8 investigator Leanne Hendricks has been on top of this case from the beginning. He's here now with new developments.
Yeah, Marley, it's been a really surprising case. Shocking at every turn. The claims here are very serious. Hundreds of pages in what he says was unwanted correspondence, and the claims that she followed him and contacted his children. Marvin Sapp says the decision to file that personal protection order was all about the safety of his family. But the claims he made to get the personal protection order against Dr. Teleka Patrick seem especially bizarre. Sapp said in the PPO request that the 30-year-old doctor started contacting him more than a year ago. But back then, she was in California. His concerns intensified when she moved here to West Michigan for her medical residency in Kalamazoo. Sapp says she came to his Southeast Grand Rapids church, sent him more than 400 pages worth of correspondence, even going as far as contacting his kids. "I'm a national recording artist who she has claimed as her husband," Sapp wrote in the PPO. Sapp responded to our report with this statement. Here it is in part. "Throughout my career, my family and I have fallen victim to inappropriate attempts to contact me by several unknown individuals. As a father of 3 and pastor of one of the largest congregations in West Michigan, I cannot take this kind of obsessive attention lightly." This news comes a day after our report with Teleka's ex-husband, who spoke one-on-one with us in an exclusive interview from California.
I believe this whole time I believe Teleka's been struggling with mental illness.
This information is raising even more concerns now about Teleka's mental health. Her loved ones hope this intensifies the effort to find her even more. As a family, we didn't realize how bad it was. Things are coming out in bits and pieces, her family said.
It's me.
Video surfaced that Teleka recorded shortly before her disappearance that appear to be aimed at a love interest. It's not clear if that is Pastor Sapp. What is clear is that she's still missing, and with every passing day, the concern grows greater. Now, before we broke this news, we did check with the Kalamazoo County authorities. They tell us that they are aware of the PPO situation, but they wouldn't comment further, and they won't say how it plays into their still very active investigation, Marlon.
Leon, so many bizarre turns in this case, but just to be clear, the authorities have not named any suspects or persons of interest, no matter what's been coming up, right?
Right. In fact, at this point, they really aren't saying that this is a criminal matter. Right now, it's a really strange and suspicious missing persons case, and their focus is just on finding her and hoping that she's safe.
Strange to say the least.
Yeah.
Thanks, Leon.
Okay, so you guys just watched all the news clips, and my heart goes out to this woman. It's clearly evident that she has some type of mental illness disorder. You know, regardless if she's a doctor, regardless if she's well-to-do, she's upscale, she's suffering from a lot of issues, and it looks like her ex-husband truly cares about her, and he's really looking to find her. He wants the best for her. I hope she comes back. I hope they end up finding this woman alive. You know, this is just really, really sad, and this is why I say that we need to start taking mental illness really seriously, especially in the Black community, because a lot of times we don't like to talk about it. We like to sweep it under the rug. We don't like to acknowledge things like child molestation. We don't like to acknowledge mental illness. And these are real issues that are affecting our community every day. You know, this woman was a doctor. She was well-to-do. But look at her delusions. Even when I watched on that YouTube video, I mean, it was just sad because she was so into the song. She had such a beautiful voice. She was looking, you know, dead serious into the camera, where you would think that she was literally talking or singing about her husband. And then to find out that she's no longer married, she doesn't have a boyfriend, well, who the hell was she cooking for? I mean, it was just kind of weird to see her have this whole meal, a table set up for 2 people, and it's just her. You know, I just think the whole situation is sad, and it's like, where are her friends and her family? You know, I hope that they were trying to do something in the long run. A lot of folks are saying, well, they should have did more, but at the end of the day, she's an adult, and she's also a doctor. It's not like she's just some welfare mom on the corner. She's a doctor, so she's well-to-do. And sometimes when people are in positions like that, like, you know, a doctor or a principal or, you know, somebody in a higher authority, a lot of times they don't think that there's anything wrong with them. A lot of times you can't tell them anything because they're doctors. You know, so it's probably hard for her family to sit her down and say, hey, I think you have a mental illness. I think there's a few things wrong with you. And even if they did sit her down and tell her that, who's to say that she would even listen to them? So I just find the whole situation is really, really, you know, heart-wrenching. I hope that they find this woman. And I think that this should be a wake-up call to a lot of us that, you know, if you have family members going through delusions and, you know, just different psychosis and hearing voices and stuff, we need to take that type of stuff seriously, because there are things out here that can be done to help them live a normal life, but we have to stay on top of people and we have to get them the help that they need. So I'm just hoping they end up finding this woman. So go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy story. All right, deuces.